Alright y'all, I got the foundation for the fireplace down, got the firebox started. I use these fire brick because a fire brick will withstand a lot more heat. If you just try to use block or brick, they'd crumble in no time because of the insane heat that comes from a fireplace. These fire brick are made differently. The mortar's different too. I always use type S mortar with anything I do. Type N is what most people use, and the N stands for normal, S stands for strong. What it is, type N mortar has got 1 part Portland, 1 part lime, and so much sand. Type S has got double the Portland in it. Portland is the glue. That's what makes it hard. Now, when I make this mortar, I throw they got a thing called fire clay, and I throw so much fire clay in there, and that will get it to heat, to withstand the heat temperature. There's not much more you can do. A lot of the high heat mortars are no good. They're made of silica, and I've only done 1 firebox in my entire life. And this guy wanted me, he made me, he was a contractor, and he was one of them arrogant dudes, and he made me use it. He said, this is what I've looked up online. And I said, all right, buddy, I'll tell you what, I'll do it, but I'm not going to guarantee this firebox. I do guarantees I do warranties on all my fireplaces, and I never have a callback, never once. In all these years, if I had to come back and replace a brick or anything that's crumbled, because the way I build them, I'm going to show y'all tomorrow. It's really interesting how I do it. I do it a little bit different than the old timers did. I've tweaked it a little bit. But anyway, that one fireplace, man, it wasn't a year and a half later, there were bricks falling out of it. It was a silica-based mortar, and it just don't work. It just don't work. You can have all the heat properties you want, but if it's not sticky enough, it's just not going to work, and that's what it has to be. And I've got the combination perfected. Anyway, I carried all this back here by myself by hand all the way from the road, man. I couldn't get back here because it's fence, but... So I got the firebox pretty much done, and a couple things I wanted to show y'all. You see in the back right there where that wall leans out? Now that's very important. Up the top I'm going to put what's called a smoke shelf before I put my flue in. I'll show y'all all that tomorrow. But that smoke comes up that, and this front side I'll curve in like this, and that gets that smoke rolling. It comes in and gets it to starts rolling like in a circle and shoots up. I'll explain all that tomorrow, but that's basically what your firebox looks like right there. There'll be some more done to tomorrow, but anyway, real quick, like I made a walk y'all through how to make a batch of mortar. So obviously you need a mortar mixer. That's what we've got here. It's just a little 8, 10, 12 horsepower motor, something like that. That's what they usually have. Mine's a stove mixer. But what you start with, usually you start with 5 gallons of water. That's what you need. Put your water in your mixer after it's started up. You don't want to put nothing in it without it started. Now, you've got 2 or 3 different types of mortar that you can use. If you're going to mix it with sand, you're going to use regular mortar. It comes in an 80-pound bag, sometimes 70, 75-pound bag. But on a lot of these job sites, there's a subdivision already here, and I don't want to mess up the yard. So instead of getting sand, I'll get pre-mixed type mortar. So that's already got sand and mortar in it. Now, the reason you see regular mortar there is because that right there is too sandy. I don't like it. It's too weak. It won't stick to your trowel. It's just not a good mixture. So I add a little bit of mortar with it to make it a little bit richer. It helps the strength of it, and it makes it a little more malleable, easier to use, stuff like that. But anyway, that's what you do. You start out with 5 gallons of water. Now, normally you're going to put 14 to 16 scoops of sand to 1 bag of mortar if you're using sand. But these here, 3 of those makes 1. There's no, you don't add anything, just the mortar and the water. It's all got sand and mortar in the bag. Like I said, the premix. 3 of them makes a regular batch of mortar. So I'll throw 3 of them in there, 3 scoops of that with it. Bada bing, bada boom. You got a good rich batch of mortar. I'm going to show y'all the main thing you need to know if you're ever going to build a fireplace, a wood burning fireplace. It's still ugly until I put the stone on it. You just got blocked with mortar. But I want to show y'all this firebox. This video here is going to be the main thing you need to know. Okay, so when you get in here, your dimensions have to be, this is called a Rumford design. A guy in the 1700s designed this because the older fireplaces, they either didn't draw smoke. The only way to make one draw smoke is to make it so deep that the smoke can't come out, and they wouldn't put out any heat like that. So what we do here now with this is a perfect design. The way the sidewalls are angled, it reflects the heat out. And it's not so deep that you can't feel the heat off of it, but it also draws smoke. But I'm going to show you exactly how to make these things draw smoke. Okay, this back wall back here, the first 3 brick are straight, and then it does what's called an incline. It leans out towards you, and then when you get up in here, see, I put this screen up so it's nice and smooth edge. The old timers used to take brick and they would go one row of brick all the way around in a square, and then they would step into the next one, making like a pyramid to where it came together at the top, and then they'd set their flue liner on that. Well, the problem with that is it's too close to the front for one thing, and those rough edges on that brick catch the smoke and slow it down. So I angle mine in at the back, and what that does, that smoke comes up and rolls off of that inclined wall, and it bounces off of that little shape that's going up through there. And I put that wire in there, and I put mortar that's got, if you watched the one yesterday, it's got fire clay in it. And then on the back, there's a smoke shelf. Hang on, I'm gonna get up there. Okay, now we're on the top. Now you can see the fire brick, the way the wall goes out like that, and I've got two lintels holding this flue liner up. If you look down in there, that's a smoke shelf. It's shaped like a U on the top of those fire brick. See, that inclined wall runs all the way across, and I feel that solid, and it's shaped like a little bowl. It's like a little U shape, and that smoke comes up there and rolls and gets started rolling, and it comes back up and straight up the flue liner. That's how it works. Works off of what's called a heat exchange. Hot air, cold air tries to go where hot air's at. It's like when you're in the shower, and the shower curtain comes up against you. But when you build a fire and it's cold, you got a pocket of cold air trying to fall. So you take a paper, some newspaper, cardboard, whatever, and you light it and you hold it up in there and warm that chamber up. As soon as you get that chamber warm, my fireplaces pull smoke like there's a fan up inside of them. They'll pull smoke during the summertime when it's hot outside. But anyway, that's how you do it, y'all. Everything else is just cosmetic. That's it right there. And you hit that flue liner. You've also got a rule, 10-3-2. You break the roof 3 foot and go out 10 foot away. Like I'd break that roof, I'd go 3 foot at minimum above it, go out 10 foot from that spot, and make sure you're 2 foot above the roof right there.